Welcome to a Skin Depth Convo. I'm Anna Kagarakis. Now today we have a really exciting show as our two expert hosts, Metaxia and Francine Kagarakis, came back from a wonderful excursion. They went purely global with Lira Clinical, came back from a really long trip in Europe, and we'll talk about what the skincare and beauty industry is like in Europe right now. But I'm excited to hear all about their wonderful adventures. So let's welcome in Metaxia and Francine, part of the founders of Lira Clinical. Welcome back, ladies. How long were you gone?
We were gone for 26 days. We left March 1st.
Days.
Yeah, we left March 1st, came back March 26th. Oh, no. Was it March 25th?
26. Give it
26. See, I am still delirious. And so we left, and it was quite an adventure.
Anna, we still are talking to each other after being in a tight quarters for so many days, living out of a suitcase, airport, hotel, suitcase, traveling. I mean, it's definitely been a journey. And for us, being able to go to so many places in a short period of time, it was really hard, but I have to say very adventurous, and we had a lot of fun. Met a lot of nice people.
You know what helps? We are able to share the hairspray. I think that is one of the key things that helps us in the room, is that we take these big cans of hairspray and we make sure we bring enough for both of us. So we need to be tied together to make sure we have enough hairspray.
And we were traveling with not only a personal luggage, but we have extra luggage depending on where we're going and what we're going to bring with us. So you see these two women dragging 4 or 5 different suitcases. And most of the time we travel business because, you know, we've been very fortunate to do that, but they're even charging us $200-300 for extra luggage. So it's crazy, but it works. It works. I mean, it's been very successful for us.
And you guys have been carrying these giant suitcases that we know what the weight capacity is before you get charged. So you're both, and you got charged for it for a little extra weight on there.
The hairspray. It's a darn hairspray.
1 month worth of hairspray.
It has a lot to do with the fact that we were going through Northern Europe, which was cold, and then we were going to Southern Europe, which was warm. So we had 2 different types of clothes.
Right.
And then we also had other items. We had things for trade shows. We had also things and different gifts for distributors and for other people. So we had to take quite a few things on this trip.
Yeah, you guys have become professional packers.
Yeah, two shows. London shows and Bologna. So there was 2 shows, and yes, we do have things there, but I still have to bring stuff with us.
Well, that's what's interesting. I'm excited to hear about the 2 shows. So let's talk about where you went. So what was your first stop? Where did you go first?
First stop was London at the Professional Beauty Show, which was very nice. We have a great distributor in the UK, Lira Clinical UK, and that whole team was very professional, very welcoming. And when we were there at the show, we found that people knew who we were and they were coming to the booth. When I was taking pictures of Metaxia at the Masticha tree, we had a beautiful Masticha tree there at the booth.
I think it's exciting to see people from the European market coming up and saying that, oh my God, I'm glad you guys are here. They're showing their before and afters. They're, on their phone sharing that information. It really makes you feel really special that, these people are doing treatments that we recommend and getting the fantastic results. And for me, the trade show is really an opportunity to see people you wouldn't necessarily see from all over the world. But I could tell you the phones were out, the before and afters were being, looked at with us. And we're definitely very excited to see the before and afters that we never saw before.
And Metaxia is right. They wanted to share. There were some people that were using Lira Clinical before we had our new distributor at that point, and they were getting it from other distributors in different countries in the EU. So they were very happy that they finally have a distributor in the UK with great training and all this information that they're able to share. So we were very proud of them, and it was great getting to meet a lot of our clients and new clients.
Yeah, that's one of the beauties of Lira Clinical, that you're not only providing your product, you're providing a lot of education about what these products do to your skin and how they work and, the ins and outs of everything, which is absolutely fantastic. Let's talk about the trends, though. When you go to, you're in London for the Professional Beauty Show. What were the things that you noticed? What was it that was like the hot item or the hot topic over there in London?
For me, it was devices. I saw a lot of different LED devices, some upgrades and things that we've seen here, but a lot of devices, a lot of body contouring, but there's just a lot more devices that I noticed for me.
And we were looking into the different schools that they have and what type of classes, and we're taking note of what's becoming very popular in the EU and around the world. and finding different types of training so we can make sure that we keep on the cutting edge of all this new training. Metaxia is right about one thing with the body. I went by a booth and they had this robe with sequins and high heels that looked like designer red bottoms. And this is what people would wear in a spa. And I had to take a picture of that. It was absolutely hilarious. So I looked at that and I said, well, now that's how I should get a treatment.
I know, right? It'd be nice and fancy. Actually, we're sharing it here. We'll be sharing it here on the podcast, here on the video podcast. So if you are listening on Apple Podcasts, make sure to go to the video podcast by going to Lira Clinical's website, liraclinical.com, or to our YouTube page. And you could see the actual robe and high heels that Francine is talking about. It is, I mean, you feel like you're in Hollywood. You're very fancy. I will say a little fun thing growing up. So disclaimer, obviously, I am Francine's daughter. And growing up, I'll always remember you with the nice big robes. I got a nice, really pretty fur-lined robe for Christmas, which I love. But I do remember specifically this one pair of heels. They were like a nighttime white heel with little poof ball.
You shouldn't be telling on me now, Anna. You should not be telling on me, Anna. Okay.
She's the one that blames me for being like sparkly and glittering stuff. You had your little shoes, Fred. That was so cute.
Thank you, Miss Bling
She
Bling.
did.
Okay.
I'm a bling, but I'm not walking around with slippers.
Okay.
And you know, Metaxia is bling, and then Francine is the fur.
The fur.
There we go.
Fur.
Give me the bling anytime. Give me the bling anytime.
These are bling bling. I make sure to get that robe for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. I mean, it's a really cute robe. It is do you think that now the whole spa experience is changing a little bit more too? It's not just, go in and get your treatment. It's a full experience. Is that more in Europe, or is it here too?
I think for me, the whole aesthetic market has changed because now it's a beautiful thing to go and get a treatment. Before you were kind of hiding it, and it was something that you didn't share. They're sharing the selfies and the Instagrams and all that. People really want that experience, and it's not just a treatment; it's the full body experience. It's that luxurious feel that you want to get, that treatment, and you want to feel special and customize anything you want for a treatment. It's a whole new type of approach.
A different experience. She's right about that. And it's full service. And I think this is what we're looking at. It's face, it's LED, it's microneedling, it's body contouring. There's so much now that is offered in this market. It's very, very exciting, and it's only growing even faster.
Mm-hmm. Any favorite moments in London before we head to the next stop? Any favorite moments?
I think for me was having dinner with the ladies from the UK. I felt so connected with them. They shared some experiences. We laughed. After a long trade show like that, it was really nice to have that downtime with the ladies. And it was just really fun. I really got that extra time with them, not just working, but just actually socializing a little bit. The food was great, but the company was even better.
And what I remember, Metaxia is right, being with them was a great experience. They care. I think that's what people notice, is that they care. We were at the booth, and our UK distributor had made a beautiful table. And this table looks like a tree that has our peels on top. And what's nice about this is all of the trainers in the UK come by the table and they explain it. And they're so proud of it, and they're so excited to explain what's in every one of these peels. And they're bringing in the masticha tree that's on the graphic, and they're showing how this table looks like a tree, but they're saying it with that passion. And people know when somebody's telling the truth and if they care, and they do show it. And I think this is why we were so popular at that booth, because that team in the UK cares from their heart. When they're in training, they talk about it. They're excited about it. When they're talking to these clients, you see that they care. So we want to really do a great thank you to all of them, with Karen and Lindsay and Laura and Laura and Laura. There's a lot of Lauras there. But all that team, and if I forgot somebody, I apologize. They made it a great, great time at the booth, and after, as Metaxia says, when we ate.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys pack your massive bags, leave a couple things behind from the London show, and then you head to your next stop. Where's your next stop?
Greece.
Homeland.
Homeland. For me, it is, when I go there, I feel recharged. But we went to Greece, and we went to check out our hub, and we landed there. And for me, it was just a great experience to walk right across the street to the Sofitel Hotel and just relax and be nice and fresh for the next day to do our journey. we're very comfortable. Both of us are very comfortable driving in Greece, which that's something we've overcome.
That's an accomplishment.
Yes,
Yeah.
seriously. I'm
Just
still
driving in
petrified.
Greece.
Yeah, I mean, it's just nice to be able to have your wheels and go wherever you want. So we're really comfortable, which was for us a big deal. Going to the site, Yanni, who was our representative over there, took us to the our site, and I have to tell you, the first thing we said is too small. So we were so like, and they looked at us, so what do you mean? We're doing so well that our hub needs to be a little bit bigger. And so we had an agent start looking for a bigger location for us because, I mean, I could see taking pallets out, but we needed a bigger space, which was a good thing. So that was an experience for us. And then actually having time with our attorneys there, talking about the registrations and stuff. But for me, it was just business, business, business right off the bat.
Well, it was nice because when we met with Yanni and we met with our interpreter, Aliki, she was there too, and she actually help with a lot of the translations. She did a lot of that, which was very, very helpful. Metaxia is right. We went to the warehouse that we were dealing with for the last 4 months, and the first thing was, there's no way the pallets can come in. Even though in Europe, everything's a little tight. So we went in, we tried to see if we can make it work. We cannot. So we had to go back and figure it out. But before we got back in the car, we jumped over to the bakery across the street and got some spanakopita and some cookies. And then we jumped back in the car and told the real estate agent, all right, we need a bigger one. This is not going to work. And it's actually in Moscato, which is right outside of Athens. So it's a little more outside of Athens, but very, very close. And so now we're looking very hard. So we went and looked at some other sites. So there's a few of them that we're looking into right now, again, in Moscato. So this way we can make sure that the pallets are able to come in and to be able to ship out at the same time. So that was one of the great adventures. But the other one is when we take those cars and we went down to Peloponnesos and we started looking and talking to different professionals in Peloponnesos and visiting different spas and talking to people and seeing what they need. And what we're finding is clinical skincare is big in Europe. They are looking for it. They understand it. It's big globally. And so we do know that's going to be a great market for Greece.
I just enjoyed going and seeing our products in some of these clinics. I was really happy to see them there and connect and actually visit some of our accounts there. It made it really special for me.
We also did a few other things. We were grabbing oranges off some trees, and we were going down to our mom's area in Finicunda, and we stayed a night at her house, and we enjoyed the ocean, and we froze to death in the house because the house was closed. But it was still a wonderful moment because it was Carnival. And in Greece, that weekend was Carnival. And so we were able to see the parades and see what was going on. We actually stopped in Patra. And Patra is where they have the biggest parade in Greece. But we were able to see all the different decorations, which I have pictures for you, Anna, to show you, of Patra and what they do. But we did go to Finicunda and enjoy the small celebration in a smaller area.
That's so exciting.
But she's not giving you the highlight for me.
Oh, I didn't. Okay. All right. What did I miss?
The highlight was we wanted to have a quick touch up so we look nice for for the next trade show.
Oh my God.
So
yes.
we thought, okay, we're going to go. And we were told to go to the special place. And I have to tell you, it was an experience because we went to this lady who's very well known, Margarita. And she took us and all of a sudden she started cutting Francine's hair, and she started cutting and she started cutting. And I thought, oh my God, she started cutting my hair. But it was an experience because we just trusted her and it was amazing. And then she was giving us caviar Botox for the hair. And we laughed so much because I would not let anybody do this. I don't know why I sat there quietly and went, okay. And
No. The reason why we sat, she was like a psychic hairdresser.
Psychic hairdresser.
She was fantastic.
Oh, this is
She
exciting.
looked at us, told us what was wrong with us, and we're like, okay. And she told us what color we were wrong. Hair was too long. Why are you wearing it like this? You need to do it. And we're like, should we do this? Should we take the chance? The best is when she took my hair, brought it up front, and took 5 inches off right away. And I think Metaxia's eyes popped out and said,
Like,
oh my God,
goodness.
hope she doesn't do that to me.
Yeah.
And I looked at her and I go, oh my God. And then she took the darker color and then she started covering up the highlights. And we're like, okay. And she goes, you trust me?
What are you supposed to say when you're sitting there with her scissors in her hand? Yeah, and then she goes to me, your highlights, they're too thin, thicker highlights. And she's going and telling me this. I'm going, okay. I just let her do what she wanted. I don't
No,
act like this.
and the reason why, because she was describing our personalities as she's cutting our hair. And when somebody's talking to you in that way, where they know who you are and they're talking about certain things about you, and you're going, oh my God, how does she know that?
Yeah.
But we did not realize she was hypnotizing us and cut.
Right.
And at that point, she did a good job.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah,
to tell her, she did a
beautiful.
really good job.
Yeah.
You do look beautiful, I will say. Is there something, I don't know, can you share anything about each other? Like, Fran, what you heard her say about Metaxia that kind of made you go, that's kind of good. And then Metaxia, same thing for Fran.
I don't think I could say this on tape.
No, you can't.
Okay, we'll have to talk after.
We're not going to
She
say
nailed us. She nailed us, but I'm not going to share that.
Okay.
No. We're, you know what? The hair was enough sharing.
Yes.
Well, you do absolutely look beautiful, both of you. And it is really interesting to think how, again, we're talking about different experiences. You have the experience, like the luxurious experience in the spas in London. Then you go to this psychic hairdresser who's telling you about yourself. But you both look wonderful, too. I think that's really exciting what you're kind of going through. And it's kind of fun experiencing different things. But let's go to your next stop. Let's talk more. Before you headed to Bologna, you took one more stop. Where did you go?
Amsterdam.
Party time.
We are so excited. We have a great distributor, Pro Skincare in Netherlands, and they are phenomenal. They have, I think, 15 clinics, and they teach great skincare. They're very into peels, and they also teach at the Netherlands University. And they also are helping part of the certification course to make sure all of these estheticians come out understanding how to do peels. So we were very, very excited. I think we had 30 people at the presentation, and we gave them just a presentation to get to know us, because this is the first time we all met in person. I think they've been with us since 2017. I think it's about 2017.
Yeah.
And we've been going back and forth. We were going to meet in Greece, then they were going to come to New York, and we've been going back and forth. But we were very happy to meet Dipinder and Shivani and their wonderful team. And we had a great experience just letting them know who we are. And it was great to hear from them. It's a 4-year course. It's a bachelor's in aesthetics, and they really do get into it, and they do understand their peels, their skin therapists, and we're very, very proud of what they've done. And it was a great, great time we had in Amsterdam.
Well, let me go back. When we landed there, the first thing I called my kids and I said, oh, I made it. We're fine. And my son, Billy, goes, Mom, you have to go to the red light district. I says, what? And I said, no, it's not for me. And my daughter calls me, Mom, you have to go to the red light district. No, I'm not going. But then Brenda calls and says, how you guys? Fine, you got to go check it out. But we checked out the canals, all those canals, the houses, and it was—
We took a tour in the canals.
It was gorgeous, and I learned so much. There were more bicycles there than people. For me, I've never been to Amsterdam. It was such a really cool trip. I wish we stayed longer. We stayed at the Westin, which was really nice, downtown. It's just really cool. I recommend everyone going to Amsterdam. It was an experience different than I've ever seen before, as far as the city and the transportation, and it was just really pretty.
Well, I made a mistake, and I said, I'd like to go to a coffee shop. And they said, oh, what are you saying? I go, I just want to go to a coffee shop so we can go get some coffee.
Yeah.
And they always start laughing. I go, what did I say? That was unusual. A coffee shop there means you can go and get some marijuana. And so I did not realize that at the time. So when you say coffee shop, it means different than going and get some coffee. So now I started noticing that we were in the cab. I started looking around and I started seeing the signs, coffee shop. So I knew exactly what that was. And I looked at Metaxia and I go, should we try? She goes, no, come on, let's get out of here. I go, do you want to try? And she
No.
See, this is where the psychic knew she was going to say.
I'm the more conservative. No. She was ready to go try. I said, no.
Bling Bling was ready, saying no over here.
Yeah. The fur. It's the fur. Makes you more adventurous.
Bling Bling. Oh,
the fur.
But what was nice?
Go ahead.
And what was nice is when we did the training, we did it at the World Trade Center. It was about 45 minutes out of Amsterdam. And it was in this beautiful, beautiful, tall building with this view that was absolutely beautiful. And we started in the morning. It was all foggy. And by 12 o'clock, we had this beautiful, beautiful scenery around us. And we have some pictures of that for you, too.
So I'm excited to see them all, too. And we're excited. Again, we're sharing them here on the podcast as well. So So for future reference, because I am a big coffee fiend, I'm a coffee like junkie when it comes to going on vacation. That's part of like my favorite part of vacation. So where do you go? You
Coffee
don't say
shop,
what,
honey. Go to the
you just
coffee
go,
shop, honey.
well, I'll go to the
Just
coffee
don't go
shop.
with my grandsons.
Yeah.
Don't go with my grandsons.
No, I don't mind, but if I actually legitimately want coffee too.
No, they have places.
There is a lot of shops
Cafe?
with pastries and cafes.
delicious
It's
stuff.
amazing. Their pastries are beautiful. You'll find really nice places to go have a nice cup of coffee or tea.
Yeah.
They're really nice. Their pastries are out of this world. It has character. I think that's what it is. I wouldn't agree going to a coffee shop like your mother,
She
but
wouldn't go. No.
I'll go with you. How's that?
Thank you,
All
honey.
right.
I appreciate that. I would. The only thing is, there's a tradition that we learned about when we were taking the tour about they put herring or they eat herring raw.
Yeah.
And so they were talking about it, and it's okay. I don't even do sushi, so won't do that either.
I do sushi, so I might be willing to try it. We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay. But it was great because we understood about the architecture. Metaxia kept talking about the architecture being a little different. We found out one thing is that how wide the buildings are determines how much tax they're going to pay.
Yeah.
So this is why we found out that the buildings are a little more narrow.
Interesting. So taller buildings not the
gorgeous.
problem, it's how wide it is.
That's how wide it is.
Yeah.
It's the space that it takes. Interesting. So so when you go to Amsterdam now, what's the biggest thing you notice differently? Is there any difference that you see in how the beauty industry is in Amsterdam versus, your first two stops or just in general?
What I noticed is that they are very clinical. Being that a lot of their clinics have lasers and they have more clinical treatments, we're very happy to say that a lot of the clinics deal more in clinical skincare. So we were a great fit for them at that point because they really do understand how to do peels. In fact, when they use our BBs, they are able to actually take that through their medical insurance because the BBs, not only are they SPF, they're a camouflage for hyperpigmentation. So our BBs are actually paid through the insurance when they submit that information to the socialized medicine there. So we were very happy to see how they're able to use our products in the Netherlands.
They're committed. They're committed for education. And after 4 years, they have a year of interning. They spend a year 40 weeks actually doing interning under a supervision, which is a lot. And when they're out, they're ready to go and open up a business or ready to go and they're ready for the aesthetic market because they've had 4 years, 40 weeks of just internship with another company. So it's pretty cool.
Really cool.
It is very nice, and sunscreen is a big deal, and they do understand how to use it.
Wonderful. All right, so get your big bags back again, get the bags going, get back on the plane. What's your final stop on your European tour?
Bologna,
Cosmoprof Bologna, ending this tour with another show. And this was an international show. There's different Cosmoprofs around the world. In fact, last November, we did Cosmoprof in Hong Kong, which was very, very fun and very interesting. So this was our second international show now in Bologna. It was nice because we were able to see different products around the world. I was surprised to see a lot of European lines use a lot of chemical sunscreens. I didn't think they would. So I was very surprised to see that. I mean, it's still legal. It's not that it's not. It's just I didn't expect to see that. We were under the U.S. pavilion. What I also noticed is they have different halls with different countries. So we went through the European countries. We went through the Asian countries. We're looking around to see what's new. And I'm happy to say that I didn't see that they had anything different than what we had. I think we were right up there with everyone else.
Yeah, so that was actually my next question. How do these shows differ? I mean, you went to two different European shows. Do they differ anyway in comparison to the shows in the United States?
I think for me, the Cosmoprof is really worldwide, and people come from all over looking for distributions and something different. For us, having smart peels, using the way we use clinical skincare, the 98% brightening benefits of every product that we have, it's just a different exposure. I mean, people come in ready to do business. They're not coming in just to really see. They're coming in to observe, learn, and probably do some business transaction. It was very profitable for our company. We really got some very good connections, and Francine's closing some really good distributors right now. So for me, it was a big show, but a lot of potential for business for Lira.
Metaxia is right because there's two different shows. The professional beauty show was more for the skincare therapists. This is where they would come in and they want to see what's new, what type of treatments, what type of products, what type of devices that they need,
Yeah.
and what's offered. Cosmoprof Bologna is a little different. It is more for people coming in from all over the world to see about distributing in their country. So we were able to meet people from the Middle East. In fact, we had a young lady that actually visited the London show and noticed us at the London show. And there's certain meet and greets that we do when we go to these shows that we schedule ourselves for. She made sure to get her name on our schedule. And her name was Brooke, and she did come from the GCC. And what happened is she came over to meet us because she saw us in London, liked what she saw, and now came there to make sure that we had a meeting. So we're in talks right now, and hopefully that would work out really well. The other one was Malaysia, and that's very nice. You wouldn't think, I would think that would probably be in Hong Kong, but they probably saw us in Hong Kong. And when we went to Bologna, they saw us again. And then the other one, I think, was Malta. I think we do have our new Malta distributor now, and she's coming in. And the other one is Cyprus. And so again, they noticed us from being at Cosmoprof. And and then Italy. There's a few others that we had and we're in talks with right now. So it was a very successful show for us.
Well, I enjoyed seeing our distributors there. So
yes.
we have our distributors from Australia were there. We had our distributors from Poland were there. Monica from Poland, our representative international trainer. Yanni was there. But to have dinner with everyone and just enjoy the moment, again, food, socializing. But it was fun to see all of them there. And, they're there and they're seeing us grow into the international market. And for them coming out was a special treat for us to spend time with them. It was really nice.
I think it's fascinating too that these shows, when you go to like the professional beauty show and you have more of a show that's geared towards the needs of that region versus a global show that's more, like you said about distribution, but it's kind of interesting to see how everything is becoming more global and how we are becoming, Lira has gone purely global. You're handling different skin needs from around the world. And I think that's kind of a really fascinating switch that we are taking right now in the skincare and beauty industry.
Yeah.
It is. And what's nice about this, we even prepared a special international brochure. So the information that we bring is completely different from one show versus the other show. And so it's a completely different arena. But what we do is we are able to actually deliver the same message, what we could do for them, what Lira is able to do for the estheticians and for the distributors that handle the professional estheticians and medical professionals.
I think we're the only company that advertise. I'm not sure of all the companies on this huge floor, but 98% of our products that we formulate have some kind of brightening benefit. So the skin is brighter and healthier. I didn't see that much of an emphasis on that. So I think we've always been trendsetters. And I really was impressed with what we've done in the market, comparing it to the international market and our market here. With our formulations, our smart peels, with our delivery, and how simple and how corrective we have become with our formulations. That was really a really good feeling to kind of walk that floor and see that we had something pretty special, or at least presenting it that way. It was really nice. I felt really proud. I felt really, really proud of Lira.
But we had one funny thing happen. We thought it was a 4-day show.
Oh, yes.
And because on our badges, it had 4 days, because certain parts of the show, especially packaging and some other halls, were open for 4 days, but our area was open for 3 days. So we had an extra day. We were excited. We took Yanni and Monica, and we had to find pasta, that is for sure. We're going to get the best pasta. But we went to St. Luca Basilica in Bologna, which is 3,000 steps up. So what happened is I said, there is no way after 3 days at a trade show, we are going to walk 3,000 feet up. Now, this was Palm Sunday.
3,000 steps.
Excuse me, not feet. I apologize. 3,000 steps up.
She exaggerates sometimes, Anna, too. I have to tell you that.
Felt like it. Okay. So what happened is the taxi took us all the way up, and we were able to visit this beautiful cathedral. And we went in, we got palms because it was Palm Sunday. We went around and then we walked down. The next day I was sore because we came down 3,000 steps. But the good news is we were able to visit my niece who lives in San Marino. Josephine and Luca came with Melanie and Noah. They came to visit us in Metaxia. Yanni and Monica and I, we all had dinner together. and had
All
a
right.
great time.
A story to laugh.
Oh no,
Love
I'm
story
afraid
time.
what
I
you're going
love
to say.
story time.
A story.
What are
We're
you
sitting
gonna
there
say?
having dinner. And all of a sudden, there are these people that come and they try to sell you little devices or they play some music. And so these were these two gentlemen that were kind of serenading, playing some music. And they come around, they take their hat off. And I said,
They
Fran,
take their hat off to put money in.
And yeah, they take her hat off. And so all of a sudden, Fran, and she's over there, it's okay. And I says, Fran, we don't need this because we're telling everybody, no, thank you, because we're right there in that walkway. So all of a sudden, she's pulling out some money, and I'm saying, no. And so he's catching that we're deciding how much money, and I'm saying, no, Fran, you're going to have him. He's not going to, he's always going to come
Not going to
around.
leave.
Not going to leave. And all of a sudden, he's fighting, and then he doesn't take the I think it was €5, and Fran had €10. So all of a sudden, she gave
for the
€10, and I'm looking at him thinking, what are you doing? And he kept serenading, and I have a video of him serenading and laughing at us fighting. What are you doing?
You are awful. You and that camera. I don't know what to do with you.
And then he comes back. Then he comes back for more. And the lady next to us says, I already gave him earlier. So he was coming back to these rich ladies who give a lot of money to hear. And the sad part about it, he didn't even give a whole song. He was just coming to collect.
What happened is there was two of them.
Yes.
And one was playing, I think it was a clarinet, and the other one, what was I don't even remember. What's the one?
It's the one that's organ.
What is it called? The Italian one.
Oh my gosh! Now it's going to bug me too.
What's the one that's like the piano, and he's over there and she's over there.
No. What happened is these accordion.
So you're playing the accordion.
Yes. Yeah. And so what happened is he saw me going for the money. And so I had a €5 and a €10, right? And so I go to give him the 5, and he goes, no. He goes, no. And so I look at him and I start laughing, and I grab that 10, and my sister looks at me and she goes, are you okay?
I said, you're crazy. What are you doing? We're telling everybody, no, thank you. And all of a sudden he caught her like, oh, maybe. And we're sitting there arguing about giving money to this guy, but he came back. And then all of a sudden we had some change.
We got €10 worth.
No. We had some change. And all of a sudden we went to give him the change, and he didn't want the change. He wanted, So
he said no to the €2 coin.
€4, Fran. It was €4, but it was coins.
€4. Oh, I'm sorry. It was coins. Yes, he was not going to take.
He didn't want to carry it. He didn't want to carry it around.
Oh, it was hilarious.
Too heavy.
But the nice part about it was the food was fantastic. We had a great meal. We had a lot of food. We were enjoying ourselves. Wine. It was beautiful. Italian food is great. Pasta is fantastic. We had a great time.
And we were very lucky when we got to the airport that Yanni came with us, because we had 7 suitcases. 7.
Because we had to carry product back and some items from the show back.
7 suitcases. So Yanni was there. He had a later flight, so he helped us. But just lining up, you think there is like a group coming with us. It's only 2 of us with 7 suitcases.
Well, I know that I've been on Solopass for a week post.
We're going to need to get a sponsor for this show from them after this show.
I mean, they were great. I would use that patch and keep going. So I'm glad to be back and be home. But it was a great experience. This was actually our second tour, because in November and October of last year, we were out also. So this particular tours help us with our distributors, and we're seeing it really is beneficial for our company.
It's wonderful. All right. So before we go, though, one of the biggest things, I am a bit of a foodie, so I do want to ask you, every stop that you made, what was the best thing you ate?
Tapas in London.
Yeah.
The tapas we had in London were really good. That's where we went with the team, the UK team, and had a great time.
The gyros in Greece, that traditional gyros with everything on it was delicious. Down in Neresmeni, France, that was really good.
Yes, and in fact, that was great. But we found out, don't put the French fries in, because it takes the meat out. And you could order your French fries on the side. A lot of good coffee. That is for sure. Gyros were great. And we did some sightseeing in Greece, too. We did see some of the Castros over there and Methoni, and we saw some of that. It was beautiful. And then in Netherlands, we had seafood. And the seafood was very good, too, at the same. And we had steak. We went to that steakhouse, which was fantastic. And then in Bologna, pasta.
The pasta.
We had great pasta, some of the best tortellini with basil and butter. Oh my God, it was so good. So we were being a little careful because we were eating a lot of meat due to the fact that we're fasting right now. So, but we did cheat a bit. We did. The gyros, we cheated.
And when you're traveling, you're traveling. You had to do a little something,
Hey,
right?
you gotta have your flat white coffee.
Yep.
Oh, yes. And we did. But it was nice coming home again because we missed everybody, missed family, we missed everybody at work. So it was nice coming back. But it was fruitful, that is for sure. And we were able to do what we needed to do. So we had a great time.
All right. So my last question for today then is, what's something new that you learned out of this trip? What's something that you learned about Europe or about the skincare industry out there? What's something new that you learned?
What I got out of it is actually we're on the right track. Clinical skincare is what we're looking at. They need to see results immediately. People, as Metaxia brought this up a little earlier, they're showing their before and afters on the phone. They want to share. They want to talk about what they're doing. So we're able to talk to them, see what's going on. They're talking about ingredients, talk about what peel works. They're talking about skin conditions. And they are looking at, again, a little more, not too aggressive, but a little more progressive treatments to get the results with less inflammation. So they're able to get results with not doing any damage. So they are doing the same thing and are looking for more and more of those treatments with results. What they want to do is they want to share it and get more information so their customers could also see what they're able to offer. So that message is global.
Well, for me is understanding that a package of a product doesn't determine the quality of the formulation. We saw a lot of fancy packaging. I mean, heavy packaging. Actually, we bought some and looked at them to see and compare. It's not the packaging, it's the formulation, it's what's in that package. And clinical skincare is result driven. So we compared it to a product that was just a fluff. When I say fluff, the packaging was so heavy. And I compared it ingredient deck to ingredient deck, and we're on the right track as far as clinical skincare. It's about the results, not about that visual. Yes, nice packaging is good, but when you're going in for the quality of a formula, sometimes the quality is in the product, not in the packaging. So I really saw the difference, and I realized that we're not fluff, but we're really very clinically based. And our formulations are far superior than some of the ones that I saw in the international market.
No, you're right about that. But I see more and more people are starting to pick up this trend because Metaxia is right. If the money is in the packaging, it's not going to be in the product. So you need to have nice packaging, but I kind of agree, clinical packaging.
Yeah.
The product itself has to work because the patients and the clients need to use it and they need to see results and then they come back.
Well, we went to one place, not to continue, but it does help. We went to a place and the products cost anywhere between 50 euro to 300 some euro. But when you asked the person there, it was just a presentation. But when you asked their staff there, well, we asked what peptides, just to get an feeling. Peptides, it's a peptide. It's this, it's that. And I thought, really, it's about you're selling me a look, not something more than just a look. And it's great on the shelf and it's great in your bathroom, but I didn't feel that it was going to get the result that we can offer. Then I tried it and I thought, oh my God, it has a lot of fragrance to it. It was really just more of an experience of a look and the smell. And now with skincare, it's more than that. It's really your skin responds. Your skin has that good feeling. It's not, there's a difference in our language of formulations. And I was just very impressed with Lira. As one of the owners, I was impressed with my own skincare line.
Well, one thing you brought up, and this is something you're right about. This is why influencers, KOLs, they're looking for real influencers and real KOLs that use the product and show the results, not paid ones. So this is where we're seeing the difference. You're right, because more and more people are seeing there's marketing. They get stock photos. They see a marketing. They're holding a beautiful bottle. That's it. Now, people who are looking and searching for the correct skincare know what to look for. They're trying to find what's best. They find the information and then they look at the influencer. They see what happens to their skin. And this is where we're seeing the difference because clinical skincare is now what people are requesting because I do believe influencers and KOLs do make the difference because they're real, They're showing what they're able to do. And this is not a model trying to tell you to use a product that has a nice package.
Well, you know what they say, don't judge a book by its cover. Even though Lira Clinical has some really beautiful packaging, as we have talked about on the last episode, how important it is also to have good packaging. But it's not just about the package, it's what's inside the package and the results that you get afterwards. Well, welcome back to both of you. So excited to have you both back. It's been an exciting, I'm so happy. I missed you both very, very much. But I'm happy that you had a wonderful trip. Thank you so much for coming on today and talking about your wonderful excursions, your trip and everything. And thank you all for listening to another episode of A Skin Depth Convo. If you have any questions for Francine and Metaxia, remember to email us at skindepthconvo@liraclinical.com. That's skindepthconvo@liraclinical.com. Remember, we will be having a Q&A episode soon, so make sure to get those questions in. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. You could do it on Apple or any of your other podcast platforms that you like to listen to. Also, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Lira Clinical, where you'll also see the podcast there as well. So thank you, ladies, so much. And thank you all for listening, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Anna.
This podcast is brought to you by Lira Clinical and the award-winning Mystique Illuminating Beauty Oil. Mystique Beauty Oil's amazing skin-friendly hydration delivers potent antioxidants and anti-inflammatories with Lira Clinical's exclusive Mass Tech brightening technology. This luxury oil blend is infused with vitamin C for a clean, dry finish on the skin. Used by itself or add to your favorite hydrator, Beauty Oil delivers your glow and go look. Contact your local Lira retailer for additional information at liraclinical.com.